Hi everybody, I'm Maggie Knapp. I'm the Director of Training for the Rochester area, and today we're going to be going over Open2Close, which is Module 3 in the admin portal. So Open2Close is a great tool for agents to use. It helps them to capture buyers at open houses, which will then send their information to Real Scout, which is a search tool, and it will also send all of their information to Engage CRM, so it makes it easier for them to stay top of mind. And it's one of our easier to use tools, and I think it has one of the greatest benefits. It's one of my favorites, and I like that it's user-friendly. So the first question in your homework is, how do they set it up? So I already have Open2Close set up on both my computer and my phone, so it's hard for me to show it to you. So I'm going to show you where to find that information. So questions 1 and 2 are going to both be found in the same place. You go to Open2Close and you type it in that search bar and you say enter. Some documents will pop up here under the documents page. Go to the frequently asked questions, devices, June 17th, 2019. Make sure you're always looking for the most current form of anything that's in the documents. So if it's from 2017, but there's a newer one in 2019 or 2020, by all means use the more recent one. If you click on that devices, print this out, save it in a tech binder at your office. I have a 3-inch binder with heavy sleeves, and I put all these things in it so that when I need it, I can just quickly find it. I also have a folder for Open2Close, Real Scout, and Engage on my desktop with all the forms in it, so that as a trainer, I can find them pretty quickly. And as admins, you may want to do that, so you can just download them from here. So anyway, once they go, if they want to get into Spacia, which is the company who's created Open2Close, they go to their Go HANA dashboard, and they're going to go, and I'll walk you through that in a second. They're going to go to their Go HANA dashboard, and they're going to go to Agent Tools, Open2Close, and then it will allow them to log in. They're going to log in through a single sign-on, SSO, and then click on Log in with Howard Hanna. Once they've logged in and claimed their account, it's just going to be automatic, and it will just be there, which is why I have trouble showing it to you. For question number 2, it says, what devices can I use the offline mode? And all these devices are listed right here. And there's a couple of devices. Now these were put in quite a while ago, 2019, as that document date said. So these prices may have changed, and there may be newer generation that are in the same price category. These are well under $100. These are things that agents may want to invest in to have with them, and may not, and that's completely up to them. And because I did this already once today, and it didn't share the screens, each subsequent screen, I'm going to stop share. And then I'm going to go back to sharing my screen in just a second. I want to get back to the right. Actually, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go home. I know we just came back to the same place, didn't we? I'm going to stop share just because I want to make sure I don't have to do this again. And I'm going to share the Go HANA dashboard. So from Agent Tools, Open2Close, logging in, and it's going to flash by. This is where the SSO partners is. Again, mine is already set up, so it's there automatically. So question number 2 was, what devices can I use? They have to be tablets, and that devices sheet will show you which things they can use, which things they can't use. So if they have a laptop that has a tablet mode, they can use that in tablet mode, in the offline mode. Also under settings, where is it? Oh, maybe it's under help. Under the help offline mode, there's a little quick video here on how to use offline mode. I watched it a couple of times, then tried it for myself, and I had to do it twice, I think, because it was a while between the first time I'd used it and the second time. Agents should be encouraged to try this before an open house. If they're trying it Sunday morning, an hour before they're going out, could be problematic. So they should try this a couple of times the week before their open house, or at least a few days, so they know how to use it and that they can count on it working. Because there's nothing worse than you're rushing to get your signs out and people are already at the door and you don't know how to set your computer up. So they should come here to this left-hand bar, help, and then click on the help, and then it's in the offline mode. So question number 3, can you add another agent's listing to your Open2Close dashboard? The answer is yes. So to do that, you're going to go to add a property. And you want it to say within my brokerage listings, and there are 3 choices. There's by MLS number and by address. If they already know the MLS number, and they often will, like an agent showing a house for somebody else, they'll know the MLS number and they can plug that in. If they don't have the MLS number, they have a choice of address, listing ID, MLS ID, or listing agent email. So I'm going to use my friend Pam at Howard Hanna. And I'm going to search. These are all Pam's active listings, so let's just use this one. I'm going to say OK. And that's added. So now that property and all of the details for that property that are in the MLS have automatically transferred over, and I can now hold an open house for my friend. So that's pretty simple. And then the next question is, how do you turn on a broker's open? So let's say Pam had an open house. Actually, I'm going to use this one because I know I have clients. So we had an open house, and now I want to have a broker's open. Maybe the house hasn't sold quickly enough. So I'm going to go, I'm sorry, I did that too quickly. I'm going to go to a property. I'm going to click More, Edit Sign-In Form. I'm going to scroll down till I get to the broker's open house, and I'm going to enable that, say yes. And then I'm going to save my changes, and then it's going to say form saved. Okay? And then I'm going to close. And then if I go back to this one and I start my event, I should have a broker's open form, and I do. How well priced is this property? And please provide feedback on the following. So I'm going to close that up. I'm going to stop this. To stop it, I'm going to go to this little X here. Don't hit the back arrow. I'm going to go here. It's going to ask me to end or pause. I'm going to end. And then I'm out of my brokers open. So again, to start my brokers open, just go to More, Edit Sign-In Form, scroll down to where it says brokers open. And it did say no. I'm just going to click yes and save changes. Then when I go in and I start my event, I'm now going to have a broker's open form. Okay, so that's that. And then to get out of it, I'm going to click the X and say end. All right. So question number, see, I think I missed one. No, let's see. How do you, oh, I did miss one. How do you add a non-MLS listing? So to add a non-MLS, I'm going to add property, and I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to type in an address, and I can put in a price. Size, let's say it's 1,800 square feet, and if you notice to the right, it's going to say square feet. I can change that to square meters, but of course we don't do that around here. I'm going to have 3 beds, 2 baths. And then the description, you may want to add in the description from the MLS. That's what I would do from the public remarks. And I can add a photo. So I can come up here, choose File, and if I've saved the photo of the home to my computer, I can just upload that file and choose it, and there it is. So then I can also have private notes. How old is the roof? How old were the windows? Is the furnace being cleaned? Is it septic? Is it well? Whatever I want whoever's holding the open house, including myself, to know about the house, so I have a quick reference. And then I'm going to add that property. I do this every time. I forget to add the title. So let's say beautiful home. I can't spell today at all. Beautiful home with view, with lake view. Let's just say that, with lake view, and add property. All right, beautiful home with lake view. So that's how you add a non-MLS. So again, you're going to go add property, and you're going to fill in all this information. Why might you want to add a non-MLS? That would be like a for sale by owner. It may be a find it first. So maybe Friday, you want to set up their open house for Sunday before it goes into the MLS on Monday. And so they can add the property manually by just adding the details here. All right, close. And that was question number 4. I showed you how to turn on a broker's open on number 5. Number 6, where do you edit your email templates? So to edit your email templates, you're going to come over here to the left-hand sidebar in the black, hit email templates. If you'll see this email template, visitor follow-up open house. You may barely notice a down arrow. If you click on that, these are all the emails that we have currently that you can edit. So I can edit any single one of these. Don't change things within the double brackets. They're auto-populated based on the information in the property, like the address or maybe the client's name. And if you don't know what this means, customer's agent name, you would click on this gray bar and look for that, and it'll tell you. So whatever the bracket possibilities are, it'll tell you. So it would be the customer's or the agent's name, depending on this one. So let's go back to one that makes more sense. We'll go to the open house, and it'll just say name. And it'll look for an address number. It'll look for an agent phone number. And it'll fill in all of the details on the house right here automatically. So they don't have to do that. It's already done for them. So they just may want to put it in a voice that's more personal. Sounds more like them. I changed my greeting to say, really quick, what'd you think of the open house? Because I tend to be more casual, and I like it to sound like it actually came from me. So then I would just save my template. So again, you go to email templates, choose the template you want to edit. Once you've changed it, you save the template. If you have a question about what's in the double brackets, you can find out by clicking on this gray bar. So hopefully that answers all of those questions. Number 7, where do you edit your default sign-in forms? So you're going to come, same bar, here, and you're going to click on default forms. So the one question you can't change, you can move it, but you can't change it, you can't delete it, is how did you hear about this open house? This is how Howard Hanna decides how to spend its marketing dollars to help their agents win more listings and buyers. So this one is there to stay. They can add up to 6 questions. It includes this question. We recommend 3 or 4. So I always like to have, would you like to be contacted with similar properties? If a buyer says that yes, they have an agent and they've included their name and their email address, all the communication goes to the agent. However, if they have an agent and they've said yes to similar properties, all of the communication about the open house goes to the agent, but similar properties as from Real Scout go to the buyer who has given us their name and their contact information and has said yes to this question. I have had many people say yes to this, and some of them did not actually have agents, and they have subsequently bought and sold houses with me. So I like this question a lot. I always include it, and I always have it as number 2. At what point in the buying process? I like a motivation question. Are they really looking? Are they looking for a house right now, in 6 months, a year? Maybe they're just a neighbor and they wanted to see the house. All of it's fine, but I'd like to know where they are. I do ask the agent question. It's not required. They do not have to ask this question. I do. If the buyer clicks on yes when they're filling out their form, it will pop up for a window for the agent's name and the agent's email, and all the communication will go to them. And we do want to be ethical, and if someone's got paperwork with a client, they're working with someone, they've been taking them out to see properties, we do want them to be the person who gets paid the commission that they have a right to. That's how we want to be treated, so that's how we want to treat other agents. Hopefully that's what you're going to find. If they want to choose some other questions, they can click add a question. They can choose from this list, or they can create a custom question. And they have a choice of text answer, yes, no answer, multiple choice. So whichever one they ask, it'll set up a form like that. And then they can type in their question here. Once they've created a custom question, it will be saved in the saved custom question list, which can be really nice. You may want to have some saved questions for specific properties, or for a broker's open, or any number of things, but it's, instead of recreating them over and over, you can just do it one time. I always put the agent question last, because it's been my personal experience that when they answer the agent question, they stop answering everything else. So I always ask it last. I do ask it, but I put it in last. Make sure auto email is on. Otherwise, these emails don't go out. So they'd have to hand do it, and they don't remember to do it. So this needs to be on. They need to consider how long after the open house they want the buyers to be contacted. So immediately they would get a ping on their phone right away saying, sending them an email. I personally don't like that, because I think it seems like it doesn't seem like it's actually coming from me, because they may see a line of people outside the house that are coming in and know that I haven't had time to send them an email. So I like a couple of hours, 2 to 3. However, if they're doing a twilight open house and it's 7 o'clock at night and they picked 4 hours, it'd be going out 11 o'clock at night. So they may want to consider what the hour is that they're having their open house and what time it would be when the client received it. So I usually do my opens from 1 to 3. And so I pick 2 hours, so it's before dinner time. Anyway, it's a consideration for them to think about what time was the open house and when do they want it to be received. Mandatory contact information, you can only have one required, make it email. Everything we have Engage and Real Scout goes out through email. Does that mean we can't have email and phone on the form? No, but only one of them is required. So email is good. I use simplified Chinese support because, number one, I lived in China and I know everything in China is subtitled because there's so many dialects. And no, there are no other languages. This was written by a Chinese person. And I use simplified Chinese support because I live in an area with a high Chinese population. And so I do use that. And then I want my font to be large, excuse me, because some devices are quite small. It may be on their phone. And so I know with large, at least they can see it, especially if, they're not 20 years old. And then I'm going to save that default form and say, okay. And then I'm going to close. So that's how I save my email templates. And this is where my default forms are. I can also move items up or down in my form. So I didn't used to be able to move this one. So I would probably move that down further. And I'm going to move the agent to the bottom. So I just use these little arrows. And I'm going to actually ask them in the order I had them. How did you hear about the open house? Would you like to be contacted with similar properties? At what point in the buying process are you? I might put this one first. But the agents are going to decide for themselves, and you don't need to have an opinion about it. They can do it however they want. I'm going to save the default form and say okay. Again, auto email on, email required. If you don't live in an area with a high Chinese population, you may want this to be no. I really want this to stay on large, and I don't know why it keeps defaulting back to small. Save. Okay. And close. All right. So next question. Where do you find the printed QR code. And what the heck is a QR code? So you're going to go back to your properties, My Properties. Find your property you just put in. Going to go Edit Sign-In Form, and toward the top you're going to see this. It says Spacio Registration Link, Print Instructions. It doesn't say anything about a QR code. However, when you click on Print Instructions, there's your QR code. And you can use this QR code. You can print this out, print out 5 or 6 of them, put them in a heavy plastic sleeve, and put them around the house, or print them on cardstock. People can use, and if you have your iPhone right now, or an Android with a scanner app on it, go ahead and take a picture of that. You'll see what it does. It brings you right into that open house on that property, which isn't actually listed, by the way. But that's where it is. You're going into, so let's do it again. Going into a property, Edit Sign-In Form, toward the top, Spacio Registration Link, Print Instructions. And there's your QR code. And then your QR code can be used. You see this, it says copy. I'm going to show you in a minute another way for you to use this that's, I think, really beneficial and pretty cool. So that's where your QR code is. And so how do you send a seller's report? Under Reports, Seller Report. So let's go to this. I know I've got some people. And I would say share. I would copy this link, and then I would just put it into an email. Hi, I just want to let you know how the open house went, how many people came by. And then I might say something personal about the open house. I met a really great couple who loved the house and talked about this or that. Or I might say we had like 30 people through, and the comments I got were that it was overpriced. This can help an agent to determine whether or not the house is at the right price or in the best condition to sell. And it can also say, hey, look, we had 28 people through, and I think we're going to be getting multiple offers. So it can be anything from it went really, really well to we didn't get anybody at all. And if you're not getting anybody at all, might be a blizzard. Might be you had it during on Super Bowl Sunday during the game instead of earlier in the day. And it might be that people came out and were put off by the price based on its condition or its location, or both. So can be very helpful. So again, you go to Seller Report, you pick your property, click on it, and share, and you will get a link to share, right? And you'll just copy paste that into an email. So nice and easily done. And so how do you add this on social media? So I'm actually going to go back to my GoHanna dashboard, and I'm going to go to Real Scout. And just in case this hasn't updated, I'm going to stop the share and then reshare. And go to share and go to my Real Scout dashboard. All right. So when I come in here, I'm going to find an address. Let's do 5238. I'm going to come here. You type in an address of the property that you want to post to your social media, so your open house. And you go to that property in Real Scout and you say share on Facebook. So this pops up, and when they click on it, they're going to get a full listing of that property. So how do I use Open2Close to help me? So I'm going to go back. Here's my post. I'm going to go to that Open2Close. I'm going to go to that same property. Close. I'm going to go back to my property. Sorry. And I'm going to come here. Edit Sign-In Form. And I'm going to go to that registration link. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to the Post to Facebook tab, and I'm going to say open house Sunday 1 to 3 to pre-register. Click here. and I'm going to paste that link right there. Then I might say hashtag green gold sold, hashtag open house, hashtag whatever. Whatever hashtags I think might be important to me. I'm going to do 6 to 12. I did have somebody say to me that Facebook hashtags don't work. Try them yourself, they do. And that was a person that told me they were a marketing person. They do work. People that follow hashtags, it helps them stay connected. So this is a great way to use Real Scout and Open2Close together. I like this technique. And then when they go on that Spacio link, that brings them into a pre-registration asking for their name and their email and how did you hear about the open house and those kinds of things. So try that. Practice with something, and it's just a great tool to get that open house out, and you capture, so they may register and never even come, but now you've captured their information. So for agents, this is a great tool. So we don't actually want to post that. Oh, before I let you go there, from this little tab, make sure that you're sharing to a page you manage, and make sure it's their business page. In New York State, at least, that's how you stay DOS compliant. It'll be have your Howard Hanna logo and your address of your office and your phone number. In other areas, they may vary, so ask your manager, ask your education director, ask marketing. But I think it's the best way anyway. Put it on your business page, and then you can share it to your personal page from your business page, and that's going to help drive traffic to your business page, which you want to start building some interest in. So for the agents, that's how they want to do it. Put it on their business page, share it to their personal page to help build interest. If they don't have a business page, they do need to get one going. All right, so I'm going to close that up because we don't actually want to share that to my page because that's not an open house. So let's see, what's the next one? How do you send a broadcast message? So let's close this, and I'm going to stop share. Again, I want to make sure that you can see what I'm seeing. I'll share, and I just don't feel confident because I did this earlier and it didn't share every screen. So I'm going to go back to my Open2Close, and I want to send a broadcast message. So here's my broadcast message. So what's a broadcast message? So a broadcast message might be something that's going to all the people that came to my open house. So I'm going to go back to one where I actually had people, because this was a fake. So let's go back to edit or broadcast message. So I can pick the people that I want to receive the message. I could choose everyone if I want, or just some people. And maybe I want to say price reduction, or open house, come and see the house again, or send your friends, family. Maybe somebody came to the open house, it wasn't right for them, but maybe they know someone it is right for. Maybe they don't know the price is reduced, or we have a price improvement is a great way to say that. And then I write my message in here. I don't need to fill out anything in the double brackets again. Those are auto-populated, but I do want to have a message. And I can say whatever I want to here on the broadcast message. And then I would just send it. And once I've clicked people who actually have an email address, it will just automatically go to them. And that's a really nice, fun, simple feature for them to use. If you are interested in how to use Open2Close better, or you want to know more, let me go back, I did that too fast. If you go to Help, Tutorials, it's going to bring you to this screen, Agent Step-by-Step Guide, and you can use this to help yourselves. There's a Team Step-by-Step Guide, and there's features, how to do each and every thing. It's right here. They are little short, very well done videos by the people who created the product. So I highly recommend the help tutorials. And again, if you go to the search documents, you can download and print out all kinds of things on Open2Close that may help you to use the products better. So that's Open2Close. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at margaretnapp, K-N-A-P-P, @howardhanna.com. I hope you guys are doing well and that answered your questions. Have a great day. Take care.